Hey guys, well welcome to part 2 of our Bulahdelah 2020 rally prep. We've got a lot of work to get through. We're 8 days out from scrutineering, so we still have to do the exhaust manifold gaskets and obviously refit the system. We've got to do an oil pressure switch for the engine, keeps on failing. We've got to do spark plug boots. We need to do the complete shifter install for the sequential, as well as a rubber dust boot for that as well. We need to do rear suspension bushes, and we need to do a full set of driving light mounts. So we've got an extra set of driving lights to install, so we've got to redesign that, make it a bit more strong. We do have a few night stages at Bulahdelah, so we need to ensure that we can see properly. Let's do it. And this here is why we were having troubles with the O2 sensor last time we drove the rally car. As you can see, the exhaust gasket was just completely annihilated. The bolts work their way loose and there's literally not much left there at all. So that needs to be replaced on both sides. See, this side wasn't much chop either. Strange. Now it's time to fix stuff like this. System back in. So as is per usual with rally prep, we've had another issue come up. Have a listen to this water pump. That was making an insane squealing sound when I started it earlier. So now I'm going to have to pull that out and either see if we can repair it or replace it. So there we go, folks. It looks like we have a bit of spline damage there. If you have a look, I'll move that down, and that's what was causing the bearing noise, and that's now not turning either. You hear that noise there? That was a hideous sound that I was hearing at speed. So what we're going to do is pull this back up where it's meant to be and weld it all the way around, and there's the fix. She'll be right. So unfortunately the parts store only had one gasket, which was this one. I don't have the second gasket for this part, so I'm going to have to make that up from scratch. Alright, so now we can punch these holes out. And then we have a gasket that all lines up, ready to go. What I'm doing is I'm nipping them all up gently. Then after a few minutes, once the silicone is cured a little bit, I'll do the final quarter turn on these nuts and bolts. That's it. Moving forward, it's time to replace the front spring bushes. As you can see, they're a little bit worn out. They're certainly not centrally located anymore, and it's causing some issues at high speed. So on closer inspection, it appears that that slack in the bush was caused by a bolt. It's actually wearing out. Obviously it's worked its way loose and it's starting to create a groove there, so it's creating some free play in the spring tension. So I'm going to look at actually replacing both bolts and checking the size of the spring hangers to make sure that they haven't elongated. If necessary, I'll weld some stronger washers on there. It appears that's our main problem rather than the bushes. All these replacements should do the trick. We're just going to line up this light now. Doing a rough and ready job. About there, what do you reckon?
Here we go, it's taking off. So as you can see, it's a bit rough and ready at the moment, but it is only mock-up. So as you can see, people, we're getting there, the brackets. So we've gone the extra, I talked him into putting the extra brace on it. You do, remember we're bouncing around in the bush, so things vibrate. All quick brackets. Now it's very hard to see, but by sheer fluke, if you look at that bracket, the bonnet closes on the exact same angle as that bracket. He likes to think he did that on purpose, but mate, that was sheer fluke.
Apologies for the lighting, but if we have a look, the sequential requires that to be replaced with this unit here. So we're going to have to knock out the roll pin, swap that over, then we can start mounting the base plate for the shifter itself. So we've got the shifter roughly mocked up in place. We now have to get these locating bolts in and do some fine-tune adjustment. But we need to start the car and run it through its gears and take it from there. Now with the shifter in place, I've got to make a couple of dowel holes for some roll pins so that it can always be put back in the same place in future. Righto, so as it stands, we're probably about 2 hours away from loading up the car for scrutineering. We are going to trailer it today. Normally we'll drive it out, and this is our first chance to give it a decent drive, but due to the change in circumstances with COVID and all the rest of it, We have to get it done today, otherwise we miss out on our entry. So we're not going to take any chances, going to drive it out there. We do have the unregistered vehicle permit, so I will give it a bit of a drive once I'm out there. But we've still got a little bit more to do. The shifter's all in place. I need to weld up a crack on the driver's fender and also a crack on the running board mount. I need to check the wiring, that everything's working there, and I need to put some form of protection around the shifter because I don't have any dust boot essentially right now. So we're a little bit stressed, but we're a couple of hours away. We're going to get it done. Hopefully everything goes ahead. There's talk that it may be cancelled due to rain or COVID, but let's do it. Let's hope for the best. Cheers. Alright, so it's the day before the rally. I've got to take the exhaust off before we head out, and I've got my special little helper here named Monica.
Hi!
She's going to help me look after some of the nuts and bolts that we're taking off, and let's get it done. Done. Okay, little miss, out you go. Alright, we can do this by hand now. Thank you. Let's do the other side. That's it. I'll do this side and you can do the other.
Oh, that's a great idea. Can you put it on?
Sure. Alright, so that's all the rally preparation completed. We're all done and dusted, ready to go. We're going to head off in a couple of hours' time. Join us for our next video where we show you our adventures of the rallying, and hopefully we're going to do well. And bye for now.
Bye!
Oh, you turd. How long? Come on. Son of a bitch. What is this? GoPro, stop recording. Fucking stop it. Oh. Get out! I'll listen now.
No, turn the pulley.
I can. Okay, that was a bad idea.
That hurt?
I'm gonna weld this. Oh. Other side, other side.
What do you mean other
As in-
side? That's the other end.
Whatever, but I meant the other side of the car.
You should be an architect, Mike.
Shut up. Shut up.
Fucking hell, cunt. How many gears you had?
Not enough, apparently.
Thanks, champion.
Oh, what you champ. Well, ever since you arrived, yeah.
That's because I sit lower on my side, so... No, that's not right.
Shut up.
Oh, come on, can't squeeze it, for fuck's sake.
Shut up, idiot.
Fuck me dead.
You think I haven't?
I can never work with this cunt, mate. It's so painful. Has anyone taught you how to work on cars, cunt, or what?
Shut up, idiot. Said, shut up.
Oh, you idiot.
Fucking welder.
Say go when you're welding.
Shut up. Oh, you fucking prick. Fuck you. You did put. Oh. for our results after our rally.
Hi, I like the top.
In the meantime, bye for now.